Our question is, what happened during and after the Big Bang?
Our hypothesis is, if the solar nebula collapsed, then new planets and moons formed.
New planets and moons were formed because as the solar nebula began to collapse, it flattened, rotated, and its center increased in temperature. The gas that spun around the collapsing solar nebula began to cool enough for the particles to form. As these particles collided, larger ones formed.
Also, when the particles collided, large bodies of matter started to form. These are called planetesimals. As the planetesimals increased in size, their gravitational pull became stronger, causing more particles to be absorbed, and they grew to be protoplanets. As our protoplanets continued to grow, they became big enough to form planets and moons.
While planets were forming, the center of the solar nebula got denser and hotter. It got so hot that the hydrogen atoms fused and created helium.
The fused helium released giant amounts of energy. This created enough outward pressure to balance the inward gravitational pull. When the solar nebula stopped collapsing, the result was our sun and a new solar system, including many planets, moons, and the Kuiper belt.
Before we talked about the solar nebula collapsing, but that's more of an explosion rather than an expansion, and the Big Bang theory is more of an expansion in space.
The Big Bang isn't the only reasonable theory for the birth of the solar system, but it is the most popular and the most known out of all the theories. Once the universe started expanding, it went from being extremely small and hot to the current temperature and size that it is today. While our universe continues to expand, there are currently 8 planets revolving around a giant star known as the Sun.
There are billions of stars floating amongst the cosmos, and there are many asteroids revolving around the Sun. Also, there are lots of meteors revolving in the Kuiper belt. This is all a part of our currently expanding universe.
This is the Big Bang Theory!
This is the evidence for the Big Bang Theory. First, we're pretty certain that the universe had to have a beginning, and second, other galaxies seem to be moving away from ours, which supports the expansion of our universe and hints that the universe was once compact.
Third, if the universe started out as being extremely hot, as the Big Bang Theory suggests, we would be able to find the remains of the heat. These remains include the sun and cosmic microwave background radiation. Lastly, hydrogen and helium are found in our universe, and these are thought to support the Big Bang Theory. Stephen Hawking, George Ellis, and Roger Penrose wanted to expand on Einstein's theory of general relativity. They wanted to include measurement of time and space.
General relativity is Einstein's theory that along with the planets being pulled towards the sun because of gravity, space is warped, causing the sun to be the center of the revolving planets.
Eight planets. Yeah.
Wait, I'm holding an orange.
And hot, but now it is the What am I even saying? It went from. Oh my god, I can't. I said. Oh god, sorry, I just moved it.
Yeah, you did. Wait.
Stephen Hawking, George Ellis, and Roger